right. The mic is hot. The mic is hot. Is it hot for you? This is when everybody else speaks.
Is it hot? It's happening, yeah.
It's hot. The block is hot. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. It is May 7th, 2026. May Day is over, but the workers' revolution has just begun, baby. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Marcus, Major Linux Summers, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and I'm joined this week and every week by Kevy Kev. It's your boy Kev in the building.
What's good, everybody? How you doing?
And live from the latest warehouse fire, it's the Sunflower Sovereign. Sinziak is in the building.
Currently online with Amazon's web services department.
You mean the ones over in the Middle East?
Dubai.
Ooh.
Specifically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Welcome to all of my Tamagotchi life enthusiasts. I have added to my family. We are now 8 deep. No, 9. 9 now. Wait.
Yep.
I think? I don't know. All I know is that there is now 2 pages. My sister and her daughters are in there. It's great. It's fantastic. Come to find out, one of my nieces is an amazing Tamagotchi artist who, once she discovered I was putting her into my game, she's like, no, I need that back so I can actually do the eyes and shit. I'm like, okay, you use a real one. So you could be hooked on Gotcha, probably better. It is Tamagotchi. What's going on, Ruin? What's going on, Obscuro? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. In Anaheim for our conference, so I picked it up so I can pretend I socialize with people I know. I hear you. I hear you. I'm playing a game called Mesh Networking. And it's almost like playing Street Pass because I live in an area that does not have much mesh nodes in it. But when I get in my car with them and drive them to other places, it's like, hey, there are other people here. It was definitely fun because who knew teachers are educators in this country, especially, well, also I think most of them were from Western North Carolina, fuck with mesh networking and Meshtastic and Mesh Core. Because when I went to the May Day protest Friday morning, my phone was ringing off the hook. I went from like 11 contacts to like 200 and something. It was amazing being able to finally talk to other people around the state. Granted, most of them were probably teachers at that specific location I was at. Doesn't matter. I was like, I have hundreds of new friends to talk to. Only once I am near another Mesh Core node. Atlassian Team 26. Ooh, I'm so sorry. So sorry for you to be there. But enough of my mesh-tastic voyage. Let's get on to the show. This week, we have AI. And AI.
And we're not talking about Allen Iverson.
For he is not the answer. Taco Bell.
I see what you did there.
it's so much obscure. It's so much, so much.
Okay, so was it about AI or was it about Sam Altman?
It was about AI. I don't. Well, let's see. Nothing here is a part of that court case this week. So unless I missed something that someone wants to talk about from the court case, nothing's here. The big bombshell for me was Hideo Kojima news from last week.
Yeah.
But no, this is just AI from surprisingly everywhere else. Because I guess OpenAI is doing some of its own bullshit right now, dealing with its own bullshit right now. Kojima is AI. No, he wanted to see OpenAI in SpaceX. To which somebody on Mastodon was like, "What's so bad about this? It's just, people wanted to go see a company." I said, "Look, man, if you want to hook up with the person to another person who's a pedophile, I mean, look, you do you, but you know what? You just ain't somebody I want to be around. You know what I'm saying?"
Exactly.
That's it. We got Sam Lake. Somebody make sure Sam Lake stays on his P's and Q's.
Mm-hmm.
Protect all of Nintendo, please.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Capcom, don't let those motherfuckers do nothing.
Please.
They hit a fucking stride. And Square Enix come sniffing around. Say no thank you.
No.
Anywho, let's get into it. Starting off with Meta AI is analyzing teen faces. Wait, this story has changed. This was initially supposed to read, "Hey, Meta is using AI to determine how old you are, but it's not calling it but it's not facial recognition." But apparently, yeah, so this is new to me. Meta AI analyzing teen faces, but a 12-year-old kid with a fake mustache fooled it. This is coming from 9 to 5 Mac. The company says AI analysis will be used to estimate the ages of faces, but that it does not amount to face recognition. Apparently, this is true. Because the 12-year-old fooled it by using an eyebrow pencil to draw a fake mustache.
Not even a considerable mustache. Not even like eyebrow pencil. That is hilarious.
Let's see, this is coming out of Wired. The mother of a 12-year-old boy told researchers that she discovered her son using an eyebrow pencil to draw a mustache in an attempt to appear older to the verification system. The result was, to say the least, unusual. The system classified the user as a 15-year-old.
I just have so many questions. So many questions.
Like?
Much like our good sis Deborah Cox used to say, how did we get here?
Oh, that's a normal question for this show, period.
Because who was supposed to be there, Kevin?
Nobody's supposed to be here.
Yet here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Looking about 50, 11 different ways of cooked eggs.
But I also want to I feel like this is like with that story. I think the sub story here, probably the more important part is, didn't we tell y'all that's exactly what they were going to do? Being like age verification. Child, people have been lying about like their age and being old enough to do things for time immemorial. How did y'all think y'all to be the people to get around this? People did that. People did that for HBO, for pay-per-view specials, for like all of the things. So much so that we have regular movies about it.
I mean, it's giving Vincent Adult Man from BoJack Horseman. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Shout out to you for understanding that reference.
Yes.
I'm like, what? I mean, seriously, what are we doing? What are we doing at this point? What are we doing?
It's the same things like you have to be like this old too. You cannot see the person who is typing in that information, and they can just put in a number. Hello?
Yeah.
Look, while you've tuned into the status where I'm playing game, Ruin says, I was 18 for so many years until I was actually 18.
Uh-huh.
I was born on January 1st, 1900. Magna, you was old as shit.
That's the thing though. That's the thing that we have to you gotta understand though. Something you gotta understand. You gotta come to terms with is like people be lying. Like verification is just lies. And on top of that, when you especially like have with AI, Gen AI, you can literally just say, "This is what I look, guys. This is what I look like. I'm clearly an adult," and it's like, "Yep, there you go."
But again, don't forget why these tools actually exist, why we should fight back against them.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna say, yo, if this is really a concern for parents, where y'all at?
Well, also, yeah, if this is correct, I was gonna say, if this is a concern to parents, dear parents, paging you to the front of the store.
Because I can't tell you how many times there were like whole tools that parents could utilize to keep their children away from
free.
Content for free. Yeah, from content that was not wholly becoming to them. Whole rank.
Okay, so
boards.
You know something? I'm gonna let me be shady for a second. Okay, great. Glad that I have the floor. I need people to understand, and the time that we're talking about these laws and things like that and trying to do things in the name of protecting the children, that someone brought their 5-year-old child and put them on stage at a Snoop Dogg concert. That is the time that we're living in. On 420. I want y'all to let that percolate for a second.
But think of the children, son.
Think of the children.
Think of the churn.
Unfortunately, I do, and the problem is I think of those children as wholly human and parents as wholly responsible. So, yikes.
Yeah.
For me, no one else seems to really care about this except for the other co-hosts I have on the show, but here we are.
Ruin, Stoop is not for the kids. That is the Wu-Tang Clan. Obscuro says,
Oh, no,
must use his kid as a human
Clan
shield. We are thinking of the children.
Hold on for a moment. I need you to stop right there. The Wu-Tang Clan is not for the children. The Wu-Tang Clan is nothing to fuck with. That's what that is.
I thought Wu-Tang Clan was for the kids too.
Hold on, let me say.
I could have sworn Wu-Tang Clan was for the kids too.
Who said they loved the kid? I think it was Trick.
You know something? That's fair.
Hold on. Look, if we are nothing but a factual podcast, we will do a live fact checking. Is Wu-Tang Clan in fact for the kids?
We need to find out.
No, I mean, like, legitimately, though, like, Wu-Tang is definitely for the kids.
Yeah.
I love the like on Reddit. There's a question: can someone tell me how Wu-Tang is for the children? I don't know. I mean, it seems like this. Look, Wu-Tang Clan is for the kids.
Yeah.
But yes, also nothing to fuck with. Two things can be true.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Let's see. Moving on. Sorry, I was reading chat. Moving on to folks who are using Google Chrome. Be aware, Google Chrome is going to be taking up 4 gigabytes of storage on your computer for AI if you have the space, that is, or if you do not turn on or turn off certain settings. I want to say it was shared somewhere. I think it's in the Discord, if I'm not mistaken. Discord.magehouse.com if you are so inclined. Yes, it is, because it was a Blue Sky post. And of course, because I switched over to Black Sky, I am now having this problem every time I try to open up Blue Sky links. Oh, I cannot stand this.
What happened?
Yeah, it's the way a lot of these links are being formatted, and I can't find a shortcut around it.
Yikes.
Without having to like log into a thing. So it's becoming a problem. I don't know. I just have to sign in the Blue Sky, which you can do.
Currently,
your Black Sky
you only have like a
credentials.
few. Yeah, you have using what credentials?
Using your Black Sky credentials. If you give it the the custom server address, you can sign into Black Sky through Blue Sky's app or through Blue Sky's website, and it'll work.
Nice.
So, speaking of, I know this isn't on our list, but I do want to talk about it because we're talking about AI. Black Sky has done it's one of those, the most ethical version of this I could imagine. They have if you are a Black Sky member, they now have a set of settings that says, here is a list of things that AI in our development will be used for. You have the option for each and everything that it does to turn that on or off, or to say, I really don't have a preference with what you do with this one way or another.
Dope.
So if you haven't seen the setting,
I'm gonna
really
switch
cool.
over in a second. So this is from maybecam.blacksky.app. So yeah, if you are using Chrome, you can turn off certain flags in Chrome, flags, settings, AI, and it should fully disable the AI. Of course, if you would like this link to this Black Sky post, you can go to majors.house/Discord, join the Discord, and it's right there for you to peruse.
I will say, however, if you're doing all of that while you're handling Chrome and stuff like that, yeah, go on ahead and tell them to give you your 4 gigabytes of hard drive space back so that you can reinstall COD.
Yep. It's just every so often I am really reminded that Chrome is not it. Like often.
Yep. So here we go. We're on the Black Sky app, and you see there's an option right here: AI preferences. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock some of this out. You know what? I have no preference for training. I honestly don't care as much. Generate new content interactions modeled on your data. No, that I don't want. If you were making photos or audios, no, don't do that. Use data in AI search and recommended systems, similar accounts. Okay, I don't care about that one. It's the synthetic content. Don't create new shit based off my shit. But hey, train it all you want, infer all you want, embed all you want. Just don't make digital shit that's supposed to be me. Only I can be me. Mm-hmm. But yes, you can do this now. Pretty sure it's not Blue Sky.
Oh, what, those options? Definitely not.
Nope. Because now I'm in Blue Sky. Also,
yeah, like no, that's a Black Sky option thing only because there was like a lot of discourse about how people wanted to handle it, and Rudy's whole thing for this is y'all need to exercise some autonomy and be in charge of or involved in the experiences that you want to have. So when it comes to building things, we're going to be transparent with you about what we're thinking about doing, and then you get to weigh in about where, like, what you want or not. And hey, if you don't like it and you want to build it better, I'll tell you how to do it and leave you to it.
I do love the fact that I can sign into Blue Sky and Black Sky using the same credentials. Like, nothing is effectively changed for me. It's just that I have to be signed into Blue Sky to click Blue Sky links and see things. Like, I get an error otherwise, but here we go again.
Yep.
There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Look at that. Just pure.
So there's been
darkness.
if you especially if you follow Rudy, you'll also notice that a lot of the people that he talks to that are also doing things on the network are really big into, we don't want to make you have to make 5 million credentials for everything.
And I think that's the one thing that Blue Sky has with regards to its whole federation thing. Like, it was not difficult for me to do what needed to be done. The fact that, one, like, I am still at majorlinux.com on Black Sky. So people being able to find me, the followers and the people I'm following, has not changed. I am still the same person. Other than me saying that I'm on Black Sky, nobody would know that I was on Black Sky. And that's how that's how much I do love that transition for me. And see, Obscura, that's why I created my own server. Granted, it's also the reason why, like, damn, it sucks that I'm stuck on Mastodon in a way, because, like, yeah, I can't move this anywhere, but also at the same time, it's like, at least my issue is I want to try a new thing. Not I hate the management or the admins of this instance. I want to go somewhere else. But yeah, like, I didn't have to, like, with this whole integration with the login, I didn't have to find a new app in order to use Black Sky. I still use the Blue Sky app, just signed in through Black Sky, and everything still fucking works. I didn't have to do, there was a little difficulty with getting Buffer to work, but even then, not enough to where it's like I had to rebuild something. I had to kind of re-authenticate from Blue Sky, authenticate under Black Sky. All of my scheduled posts from Buffer were still there. Gelato Sky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and that was the one thing I didn't think about until after I moved. It's like, oh shit, I hope Buffer still works. But yeah, Buffer still works. Like, I'm still making scheduled posts. But yeah, like, I mean, see, none of this changed. Like, I still got the followers following, the posts, everything came over. Takal posted something. So again, majors.house/discord. If you want those instructions on how to migrate over to another instance, at least the instructions Takal provided me were for Black Sky. But it was it was really simple. Like, it took some time because it has to do an actual migration. But it's like you sign in wherever you need to, plug in the little things. It does the migration. You wait for about like 5 minutes or however long, depending on how many posts you've made. And that's that. For me, the other thing I had to do was just migrate the domain over. And even that was simple because like I already authenticated through the AT protocol for Blue Sky. So when I said, hey, my domain over on Black Sky belongs to this ID that's already been authenticated. Black Sky's like, okay, yeah, you've already done this. We know this is you. Here you go. Here's majorlinux.com. Like, it could not have been simpler to move over to another instance or whatever, PED or whatever the fuck they call this shit. I'm not as familiar with AT protocol as I am with activity pub, and even then it's still like I don't even understand activity protocol like that. Off my domain, and it told me to go back to my basement. Damn. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, what was that, Kev?
I said the biggest of yikes.
I know. I don't even have a basement. Where would I go? I guess here to my studio space. So lovely. In more AI news, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and Nvidia will provide AI tech to the Pentagon, which, I mean, that's not really much new.
No.
What was new earlier, I think earlier today, the whole Mythos thing with Anthropic apparently is scaring so many people that it's even scaring the president. It's like, he's like, you know what? Maybe we should regulate AI.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm like, but like I say, Katie done barred the door on that one. Like, the horse is already out in the field. That ship has thoroughly sailed.
Which makes me wonder.
All gas, no brakes with it.
Which is starting to make me wonder a lot of these vulnerabilities that are showing up for Linux over the past few days.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what that's all about, because 2 of them have come out this week related to each other, but definitely separate. And I've had to get those mitigated in some form or fashion, and I'm still waiting. On top of the fact that Ubuntu was being DDoSed over the weekend, which made that even harder to do.
Ooh.
That ship already sailed through the Strait of Hormuz 3 times.
Listen.
Mm.
Listen.
Mm.
It's topical and it's true.
Yes.
Yikes.
But yes, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Nvidia. One company is noticeably absent, but did also contribute to the AI tech going to the Pentagon. Google. However, Google's Pentagon AI deal reportedly drove the DeepMind team to unionize. Because what they said was like, look, what we're not going to do is use our shit to sit there and kill people and surveil people. Which, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm of 2 minds about that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what were you going to say?
So this is where, and I posted this earlier when I shared this article, this is why when I talk about the AI tools and how they're developed, that there was obviously a path we could have taken, but because of the fact that these people aren't in charge, that's not the path we took.
No.
The fact that there are people who are doing the research, because remember, DeepMind has been in this shit for longer than all of this has become a mess. Like, as much as they like to put the Will Smith spaghetti videos out,
Yeah.
I remember the deeply disturbing shit they were doing with spaghetti pictures that made me hate DeepMind so much. When I see the name DeepMind, I am drawn back to those ungodly picture mashups they were doing.
Yeah.
When they were like, hey, make this thing, but as something else. And I remember it was like spaghettis with dogs and shit. Like that one image alone freaked me the fuck out. And every time somebody was reporting about DeepMind, I would skip it immediately because like those pictures were just horror shows.
Yeah. It's like, and here's why.
Yeah, it wasn't great. That's what you want. Go look that up. I've seen some fucked up shit on the internet, but it's like people who thought that shit was cool back in like 2012. It's like, why? But again, this is to say like DeepMind has been doing AI, machine learning, deep learning research long before we got to these chatbots and where we are with LLMs. Which is again why I say like AI is a tool. Like one is why I say like these tools, these words have meaning, and if we're not giving definitive, specific definitions to things, we are doing the work of the capitalists to try to make this as cool as possible, because AI was not a bad word up until 2023.
Yeah.
And the capitalists, the people who are trying to make money off of this current shit, is trying to launder it under what AI was up until 2022.
Which is,
So again, the fact that I'm seeing like DeepMind, the fact that there are people within Microsoft, there are people within Amazon, there are people within a lot of these tech companies that are selling these AI tools to the government, that selling these tools to the government for surveillance, mass killing, genocide, what have you. That are like, no, we did not build it for this. Stop selling this to them. It gives like, that's where that basis of hope is coming from. Where it's like, yeah, we could have had something better, but no, we didn't. I don't think that the people who are making these tools are like AI bros or AI boosters like we hear on social media.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're not the ones who were saying, oh, we need all these data centers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they were cool with the few NVIDIA GPUs that were sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
Not 2,000, not the city of Manhattan's worth of GPUs.
Yes.
Like that's a decision that they did not make, but unfortunately, giving the survivalist instinct of capitalism,
Right.
it's either that or they have no job. And it's easier to say, oh, you can quit your job.
And go where exactly? But okay.
My whole point.
Yeah.
So like, again, like seeing this, like, yeah, this is where that basis of hope was coming from. This is where I was coming from when I said like, look, AI could have been way cooler. It could have been a lot more beneficial for us. When people were saying like, hey, this could have solved global warming or climate change, they were right. But when the CEOs talk about that, they don't give a fuck. That's not what this is here for. This is not what they wanted it for.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The long arc of the conversation involves who had the money to market for, unfortunately, right? Who had the money to market and things like that.
Yeah.
But also a lot of people being very deeply in their feelings about things. Like the thing is, at least for me, I'm still in the same place thinking about it now as I did then, and seeing other people being like, at some point, I promise I'm going to post this, but between like lifing and me having like a whole orientation week at work this week, things have not been, I have not had time to sit at this desk and write anything. Now, that being said, what I said at the beginning, and this is something that Major and I went back and forth about one way or another, is just like, I think I think this tool could be really cool, but we're not at a point in our collective ethics to be able to use it. That's exactly what I meant. And here we are, however many years later, some 2.5, 3 years later, and people are just like, so bad is the ethics of how the people with the money and decision-making power, as it were, intend to use it, that they were just like, we're gonna have to unionize to stop this shit. And I'm like, and we are here. And seen.
Like I said, that was a conversation we had like 2 or 3 years ago.
Correct.
I'm talking about like Gemini. I'm talking about like Gemini, or not Gemini, but DeepMind as a company and the things that they were doing. This was over a decade ago.
Before this, right? But
right,
it's like
long before this.
But it's one of those, seeing them like, you're like, hey, they've been doing this for 10 years, and then me and you looking at these things and being like, the way they're talking about this, girl, we're not ready to do right with this now that they're making it more of a common thing. And for these people who've been doing it for 10 years to see what has happened in the last 3 and be like, y'all right, actually, no, absolutely not.
Well, see, like, again, it's my thing where I don't think the DeepMind team, it wasn't something that like they came into like within the past couple of years. I think they've always been like, no, this is not what we were creating it for. Please stop. Please stop. Please, for the love of God, please stop. Okay, you know what?
So, I guess the
question. Seeing your audio is like breaking out. Like, you seem like you were like miles away. Okay.
If this hasn't been a thing that's happened the last 2 or 3 years, I would like your thoughts on this question. What do you think has happened recently that, out of the years that they've been like, hey, this is not what we intended to use it for, this, that finally was kind of like this week or whenever this like article was, right? That went, okay, enough is enough. We're unionizing. We've had enough of this bullshit.
Yeah.
What do you think
taking back the rolling back of regulations was probably it. Like, because remember, most of the people who are probably working on this, just like most Americans or just like most people in the Western society, it's like either liberal or conservative. There may be some who are further left, and especially like when it comes to people working on this tech, they're probably not further right than maybe like, Mitt Romney was a good presidential candidate. Like, they were like, no, we're not in it for Trump. Like, I will vote for Hillary or Biden or Kamala before I will vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But they never went any further left than Hillary or Biden or Kamala.
Yeah.
So with them, it's like, hey, if we had regulations, guardrails, if we were in control of where this goes, then cool. We can handle that. But remember, Project Nimbus was signed in 2019 during Trump's first administration.
Yeah.
And again, that was like just for cloud compute and AI stuff, and they probably did not know. Or again, most of them are like, you know what? Yes, Israel does have the right to defend themselves. Please do not clip that out of context. Oh my God, please do not. But they were probably like, yeah, maybe they should, we should give them new tech and so they can, do the things that they're going to do. Shut up, merch. I know how expensive plane travel is, but I will find a way to find you and personally get you into the sun.
Cackling.
But yeah, I feel like with them, it was like they look at regulations and like just all these protections. Say, hey, we can rein this in through policy. And they probably there to cheer on Biden saying that, hey, he's got this AI regulation bill. That'll show him. But Pichai wasn't on board. Bezos, Zuckerberg, Altman, Musk,
Nadella.
none of them, Nadella, none of them were on board with that shit.
Nope.
So of course they put all that money into getting Trump back in to let him roll back all that AI bullshit. It is like, you know what? Yeah, like once you let us take the reins off of this, we will sell you all of it. Because we see the massive money-making potential. We saw what happened in 2023 when Altman was like, hey, you know, what if we just introduce, oh man, good, there you go. So I think what it was is just when they rolled back regulations on it. And they were like, yeah, okay, so we can't tell you no anymore? Okay, bet. Then we just won't make your pretty toys anymore. Well, fine. We'll take that bullet.
Yep.
I don't know, and I'm being very honest here.
I know I
don't
jumped
know
all
if
over the
that
place on
makes
that
me-
too.
Oh no, not at all. I'm being very honest here. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
I mean, as a socialist, it does not make me feel better because let's look at what also happened this week. Hi, welcome to Politics Corner with Tech Talk Thursdays. The Voting Rights Act was pretty much rolled back this week.
Yeah.
I mean, first they came for the Civil Rights Act. Now they got the Voting Rights Act. Again, these are reforms, and if they can sit there and vote in Congress to let you have a right, they can easily take it back. If it was not enshrined as a right that they cannot take from you, you ain't never had the right. And a lot of people in the South especially are learning the hard way.
Which is wild because they pretty much beat that in our heads early. Hey. your rights ain't, there's a right to your rights. You don't have rights to your rights. You need to go ahead. You need to be on top of that every minute, every part of every day. See that tree? That tree has connotations. The whole we are at an early age. We are red strange fruit. That is enough.
So yeah, like as a socialist who understands that, you know, things that get voted in can easily be voted out or could just be stripped away. So no, that never made me feel good. I really felt like, no, this shit should have been heavily regulated or just not released at all.
Yeah, it should have been.
I think
we should have been like hearing about where they're going with the alphas. We're hearing about the alphas. We're hearing about the different builds and what they got going on. We would have been hearing about preview builds, like heavily restricted preview builds, so that journalists and media could access it, but but heavily guarded, heavily maintained.
I mean, but like, so some would argue that's what they've done, but what they've done is like, just like, if you remember when Copilot, when Bing Copilot was first released, and all of those journalists was like, oh, Bing Copilot was trying to talk me into leaving my wife.
Yeah.
Which,
nope.
Say what you want about the CEOs and the AI boosters then compared to now, which are they're also insufferable. But the media did a huge job.
Yeah.
In fanning these flames.
Yeah.
And they still are, because again, like, as much as I can say, like, there are useful bits to this, but it generates more clicks, it gets more views. If you continuously either say AI is the best thing ever, or oh my God, look how dumb I'm sorry, that's ableist. Look how bad this AI chatbot is at doing a thing.
Yeah.
When I can continuously point at insert tool here, I could probably get something very useful out of Grok. If I wanted to.
I feel like maybe we need to back up a couple of steps and point out one other thing that's kind of happening. And I'm seeing this come up because of discussions on civics and laws and things like that. But I think it's relevant here is at a certain point, looking at the arc of conversation about AI, there has been a point where people tried to be a little bit more nuanced and specific about it. And people at large were like, nah, that's too complicated a thing. So then people kept reducing and reducing and reducing the argument until now you have this thing covers like 10 different concepts and people are attacking like one thing. And now we have to like drag people in the other direction of being like, we have to talk about this in its nuances and complexities and lights and shadows and shades, or we're going to be stuck here forever. And meanwhile, I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm just sitting on a park bench and feeding birds and being like, well, I guess we're here. And there is the also kind of the assumption when we go into these things that people just simply don't, that a lot of people just simply don't have the capacity for dealing with a substantial conversation on a complex topic and being like, I know that y'all want this to be simpler or easier to explain, but it just isn't. And y'all are going to have to deal with that. We're going to have to let you be adults with a capacity to reason. I need y'all to, if you haven't developed it, I need you to practice.
And see, again, it goes back to like when I talk to a lot of folks who are getting into leftism, who's becoming more and more leftist. It's like, man, I don't understand why more and more people don't get it. And it's like, I get it. I was also one of those people, and that's why I try to come with some level of empathy when talking to these people about why it's so difficult, why we haven't had the revolution, why we haven't burned things to the ground yet. It's like, people are too fucking exhausted.
There's that, but I want to just say as an aside, I feel a way about people whose immediate response to things, and I'm not saying that this is never the appropriate response, to be very clear about that, because I do believe that over here. However, there is something to be said about people whose immediate response to everything is to burn everything to the ground without regard to what it costs to do that and what it will leave behind.
So I saw an argument. I saw a post about this in, again, Threads, because Threads is the most leftist place that I have. Surprisingly, Threads is the most leftist place I'm at. Say what you want about Meta's algorithm, but boy, I got that one working in my favor. Somebody had posted that the response to that should be that for those who are arguing we shouldn't just necessarily tear it down, or those who are some of those people are people who are arguing to keep up the infrastructures of white supremacy, imperialism, capitalism, sexism, ableism, misogyny. When people are calling for burning it down, it's not that they're calling it down recklessly. Or at least the people who are seriously talking about it aren't calling for it recklessly. It's the fact that, hey, we have to burn the thing that's holding the oppression up.
I'm not saying, I feel like the people who, and it's a lot like AI, I feel like the people who are saying these things to each other don't miss these things. I'm kind of on the side of, I'm very attentive to the kind of people who say those things when you say those things. When Kevin says those things, when most of the people who are kind of and our regular audience here say those things, that carries a meaning. But that's because I know that y'all care about people. But I also need you to understand the context in which I hear that also includes people who say those words and had nothing to say when we had to cover an article of somebody being like, 15-year-old should be able to work in a bar and don't care about natal care, and voted to make sure that people did not have the bodily autonomy to do what needed to be done for gender affirming care or any of this other stuff. I live in that time, and those people are just like, if those people, the people who believe those things, are also like, we need to burn everything to the ground, I'm like, y'all don't want to care about people now. We couldn't bother you to not go to Chick-fil-A or to just like wear masks in public spaces. You know what I mean? We couldn't ask you to do that in the middle of a mass public health issue, but you want me to believe that if we were to dismantle the systems that exist, that y'all would have people's best interest in mind in whatever would come next to build.
Yeah,
that's X to doubt here.
But that's what I'm saying. Who burns it down and who sets it back up? That's the thing. And then oftentimes we find ourselves being like, we don't want to rule ourselves. We want benevolent kings. Like,
yep.
And
there are some people who
want
are
to be under the yoke of somebody else. Yeah, we want our yokes to be nice. We want our yokes to be gold covered and covered in jewels. But it's still manacles around your neck. But it's nice. Like,
I'm sorry, I'm reacting to chat. Do want to take a break? Obscuro Magna, thank you for the raid train again, gifting out 5 subs. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, he says every time I hit 10 give subs, it goes back down. But yeah, and that's the thing, like, and I know exactly, Sin, who you're talking about. And it's a thing where, like, I'm trying to be careful and disciplined in how I talk about these things, because again, it's a coalition, and I'm not going to sit there and be able to build coalition if I'm shaming the people I'm supposed to be fighting with. But at the same time, I was like, oh my God, that's not how this works. But there are steps. Yeah, it's educating is one thing, but like Mastodon ain't it.
Tell them that they're wrong. You have to tell them that they're
but that's
wrong.
what I'm saying. Mastodon ain't that place, and I am like, social media is not that place.
Right. And
so it's like I'm having to be careful how I convey that message to people, because like I will still say like, hey, there are steps here. You may not want to go through those steps. They may suck, because if you look at history, it may not have ended up the best, but like, again, this is why we learn. This is why we study. This is why, instead of just fucking praxis, there is still theory. So that way we don't repeat these fucking mistakes over and over again.
Yeah.
But again, because again, as much as people want to they want to fucking hate Lenin still walked up and said, hey, y'all keep going and just attacking the Tsar, and y'all keep dying in droves. How about we sit, learn some shit, and then actually do this smarter? Mm-hmm. And then guess what? The October Revolution happened.
Yeah.
But see, again, people don't want to talk about that shit. People don't want to sit there and take those lessons. They are so quick to sit there and demonize past movements because it just didn't work. I said, well, I don't know. The USSR did last for a minute, and a lot of things happened that caused the fall. Mm-hmm. But China's still there, whether you want to call it a Soviet state or not. North Korea is still there. Cuba, Venezuela, Vietnam. As much as Vietnam doesn't look like it, they are a socialist state.
Yeah, it's like the fall of the Soviet Union just made when a lot of these states were like Soviet vassal states then becomes again Soviet vassal states. But they just have their own. They just only have their own backed guys running it now. It's like, for the longest time.
But yeah, it's like people don't look. That's why, like, again, like my whole thing is like everybody keeps looking at it from like a certain point. Like when they look at AI, they keep looking at it from late 2022. Whereas like, again, I point to DeepMind. Yo, that shit was going on for over a decade. people look at Cuba, people look at China, people look at Venezuela. It's like, yeah, look at what's happened. Like, look at where they are now, or like North Korea. Look at where they look at what North Korea looks like. Okay, one, U.S. propaganda. Two, North Korea was doing a lot better when the USSR was still there. Yeah. Imagine what happens when, you know, a superpower just disappears.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, people don't want to sit there and investigate and actually learn from history. It's why we keep talking about October 7th, and not May 15th, 1948.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ooh, I got a hype chest. I should open it. Ooh, it's a button masher mode. Mastodon will skin you alive for quoting an AI prompt. Then go to not talk to anyone. Right. Look, I had to go back and check and said, look, am I being blocked by anyone? Because, you know, I've noticed there's been a lack of conversation, but Mastodon was like, yeah, we can't tell you that. So, I understand. I didn't expect you to, but still. I wish I'd say we can move on to another topic, but no, it's more AI. Who wants to talk about more AI? I mean, it's labor related.
I feel like most things about AI are, but continue.
Yeah, y'all, you're right. You're right. And this one is the bad labor related. Cloudflare. They're building for the future. This afternoon, this is coming directly from Cloudflare.com. And I'm sorry, I've not mentioned all these other articles, but let's see. We've had Engadget, 9 to 5 Mac, and Wired so far. Oh, and 9 to 5 Google, by the way. But this is from Cloudflare's own website with their own blog. This afternoon, we sent the following email to our global team. One of our core values at Cloudflare is transparency, and we believe it's important that you hear this directly from us because it's a major moment at Cloudflare. Team, we are writing to let you know directly that we've made the decision to reduce Cloudflare's workforce by more than 1,100 employees globally. Let's see. You know what? I'm actually going to go refer to. I'm gonna pull this up so that way I don't show anything that Takal might have posted that he doesn't want to share. But he did pull out some choice nuggets from this, so I don't have to search. First, they stated that means we have to be intentional in how we architect our company for the agentic AI era in order to supercharge the value we deliver to our customers and to honor our mission to help build a better internet for everyone, everywhere.
I have thoughts, and they are a felony. I'll be muting myself.
Here's another nugget, and actually we'll include what Tycho posted here. Quote, Cloudflare's usage of AI, and this is from Cloudflare, Cloudflare's usage of AI has increased by more than 600% in the last 3 months alone. Employees across the company, from engineering to HR to finance to marketing, run thousands of AI agent sessions each day to get their work done. DeCall wrote this underneath. I refuse to believe that these employees were doing it of their own volition, that every single action was done by AI because it was needed. Also stating when he read the quote, it screams, quote, we made them use AI, and if they didn't, they would intentionally be made redundant for ones who did, end quote. Also, he says here, and he says something to that same effect in Discord. The use of therapy speak is what I hate the most about it, outside of folks losing their jobs and being told that Cloudflare was sure they were going to end up somewhere. Which is here. Quote, we're confident you will land at other great places and build many future great companies. Bringing with you a unique set of skills learned while building Cloudflare. But also, this is the big one. This is the one I was looking for. Quote, today's actions are not a cost-cutting exercise or an assessment of individuals' performance. So keep that part in mind. And as you've tuned into status where I'm playing game.
Real quick, check their stock prices.
Hold on. So just today's actions are not cost-cutting or not a cost-cutting exercise or an assessment of individuals' performance. They are about Cloudflare defining how a world-class high-growth company operates and creates value in the agentic AI era. But of course, as former Attorney General Pam Bondi says, let's check the Dow, which I'm pretty sure they're on Cloudflare's on NASDAQ. You know, I was kind of hoping their stock price would be on their website, but it's not. Whoa, no. Oh, so this is Eve. Oh, okay. No, that tracks. I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger, but I don't know how I can make this bigger. Oh, we'll just go to CNBC. They actually just have an article about it. From CNBC, Cloudflare stock sinks 18% after earnings as company cuts 1,100 employees due to AI changes. Oh, are we buffering for real? Because, yeah, my player on Twitch kind of died on me, too.
Refresh.
For the first time, I'm saying no drop frames. Not because I've had drop frames before, but normally I don't have to say anything about the frames. It might have been a network issue. Key points coming from CNBC. Cloudflare shares plummeted after hours Thursday as the company announced it is cutting over 1/5 of its workforce. The company's first quarter earnings beat analyst projections. CEO Matthew Prince emphasized the role that agentic artificial intelligence play in the announced cuts, which affect over 1,100 employees globally. So let's see, their first quarter earnings had to have been announced today. But then after that, they done dropped off a cliff. Now granted, excuse me, when you back up and look at the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem like they lost much. Because of course, number go up.
Oh, that's the point. There's a lot of things where those decisions are guided by what are the stocks doing at the time. And it's kind of like, What nonsense y'all got going on over there that y'all are acting like this?
Okay, so I just want to pause real quick. I know that the recording is still up, so hey, people were listening to this after the fact. Just want to point out that there is something currently going wrong with the live stream.
Over here in status where you were playing game.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. I think that's probably right where things did die. Because Obscuro mentioned something about the hotel Wi-Fi, and apparently it's broken. It's been broken ever since. Because yeah, I think my Twitch player is broken. I think this is a Twitch issue though, not something on either of our ends or mine specifically.
Okay, come on, Twitch you.
It was the hype train. Like it comes back every now and then, but yeah, like my Twitch video feed just like dies.
That's what I'm saying. Stay in place. We're working it out.
Hype train crashed into the server. Hold on. Of course, look, Bezos is not happy with me today. So I guess for the sake of the show, just continuing to go on, we're going to keep going. But yeah, so it does seem like when this was announced after trading, let's see, this I don't think there's not a time like a time. Or like a timestamp for when this went live. Other than it went live today. But yeah, I would imagine that this happened after close of after the close of the markets. So surprisingly, layoffs didn't work out too well, but I think it will be interesting to see kind of what happens after the fact, like when the markets open tomorrow. But I'm also not a person who really cares about the stock market.
I don't predict, like, it's like one of those things, right? I don't particularly pay attention to it, and I don't particularly follow it either. But because capitalism be capitalizing, that's usually one of the first places for you to look when you're just like, now, why would you just go and decide to do that? Hold on. Right. Of course. It is about that time of the year. That's usually how that goes. Like clockwork.
So Obscuro is saying that that it may be AWS Virginia that's down, which would definitely affect everybody on the East Coast, maybe. Merge, are you still here?
What do you mean merge? I'm right here.
Oh my God.
Go ask Sin if he's here.
Oh my God. Wait, but was it Obscuro on the West Coast this week? Maybe it's the ingest. Maybe it is the ingest, but it's not showing bad for me, so I don't know. Networking is difficult.
And that's why we let Anthropic do it.
Don't do this to me. You could have called anyone else, but you had to say Anthropic. But moving on to more AI and labor related news, Coinbase. And as soon as I switch a tab, that's when it dies again. Coinbase lays off nearly 700 workers in AI native restructuring. So Cloudflare wasn't even the first company I was going to mention this, but here we are. This is coming from.
Is that the Bitcoin processing company?
Is this the who?
Isn't that the Bitcoin processing company?
One of them, one of many, probably the biggest
My God,
crypto exchanges. This is coming from Engadget. Coinbase is the largest tech company to gut its workforce as part of an AI-centric restructuring. The company will lay off approximately 14% of its total headcount, CEO Brian Armstrong wrote in a blog post. According to Reuters, that equates to around 700 employees. Armstrong claimed he'd seen engineers use AI to ship in days what used to take a team weeks, and that non-technical teams in the company are shipping production code while Coinbase is automating many of its workflows. Quote, all of this has led us to an inflection point, not just for Coinbase, but for every company. The biggest risk now is not taking action. We are adjusting early and deliberately to rebuild Coinbase to be lean, fast, and AI native. We need to return to the speed and focus of our startup founding with AI at our core. End quote. Let's see. And I'm looking at Magna's status update from, I guess, status.aws.com. Continue to investigate instance impairments to a single availability zone, USE 1, AZ4, and the US East 1 region. We have experienced an increase in temperatures within a single data center. Oh, Lord. Which in some cases has caused impairments for instances in availability zone, EC2 instances, and EBS volumes. Excuse me. Hosted on impacted hardware affected by the loss of power during the thermal event. Other AWS services that depend on the affected EC2 instances and EBS volumes in this. Oh, okay. There's more to it, but it cuts off there. Sin, I think you've set AWS on fire. When somebody actually blames Sin for the fire.
Wow. Well, hold on for a moment. Whoever blamed me, I'd do it again.
Oh. Who was it? I'm gonna go up in the chat. It was Ruin.
Oh, it's ruined. I definitely do it again. I'd do it twice.
Before we do it, it was a temperature related issue.
It was ruined all along.
And here comes Magna confirming Sin set it on fire is my guess.
You know what? Here, I'll give you all a little bit of a smolder instead. Now reporting live from the site in the aftermath of what has happened. You can see the little wisp of server bits going up into the air as fire makes its way through all of the cooling tubes. And all I can say there is I'm happy to be of service.
Speaking of the DMV region, Maryland. Surprised, not an AI related story. Stop it. All you had to do is pay us a livable wage in AI tokens. Stop it.
Cackling.
Maryland, this is from MacRumors. Maryland lawmakers press Apple over decision to close unionized store. Of course, we had I think we had talked about this earlier. Apple closed a series of stores not too long after John Turnus took over as Apple CEO, or was announced Apple CEO. One of the stores was at the Townsend location in Maryland. This
hey,
of
Majora.
course. Yes.
Hi. A thing I was thought about. And I wanted to say this because you're talking about AI articles and these companies doing these layoffs. One of the things that has recently come up in places that I am having to unfortunately see information about AI is that a lot of companies are not sure what they are going to do with the amount of charges they are getting for the amount of tokens they need for all of the AI stuff they're doing.
Yeah, that was one.
I'm back. You can come back to that one later, but I wanted to put that on the board
because there was one article I forgot to click. last show that somehow it was on the docket, but I guess I clicked. I guess I didn't click it to open it, so I didn't think about it until after I was editing the show, or putting in the description for the show. There was a story I was going to include about token maxing, which involves CEOs boasting about the amount of money they're spending on AI tokens, which would have equaled like the salary and benefits of an actual employee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are we doing? But yeah, that's not only a company thing. Because Reddit, and when I look up things, of course, like Reddit comes up as a source of information for things I'm looking for. Some of the posts I'm seeing on Reddit now are people complaining about the limits they're running into now on various tools. Like, well, I sit here and I typed one query, and now all of a sudden, like I'm like halfway through my usage. I like pay for the $200 plan. Like, homie, I'm not sure what the fuck it is you doing, but obviously you doing like the most. And given the fact that you probably don't know what you're doing, is the reason why you are blowing through AI tokens as fast as you are. I do not like, and every time I see these posts, I will go and check. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm nowhere near these counts. So what exactly are you doing? Because it seems like a lot, and you are doing a lot that probably takes a little and probably doesn't even need the thing you're using it for. But, you know, my latest talking point has been there is no de-skilling that's happening with these AI tools. It's the fact that we're now discovering there are people who claim they knew what the fuck they were doing, all of a sudden discovering they never knew what they were doing.
Those just right there if we wanted to worry about that.
And it didn't hit me until people were like, man, these kids using AI, they don't know how to use a computer. No, they never did in the first place. What are we talking about? Like, that was a problem of an iPad, not AI. That's because iOS obscured file management from you.
I mean, do you want to take that back a little bit further? Hey, Major.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to put on your nerd hat for a moment. Do you remember Macromedia?
I remember it. I would like to know where this is going.
Do you remember Dreamweaver?
I do. But I used it mainly for designing websites or coding them. For coding websites, I design them. I am shit at design.
Right. So that was a thing that goes back that far. When I was in school doing the information systems things, I also used to use Dreamweaver because they were just like, you need to learn how to use these. Went to use Dreamweaver to start doing stuff. And I'm just like, hey, here's a website that I want. And mind you, this is when CSS and things like that were relatively new. And I would watch the output that it got. The way that it tried to make your website a series of nested tables. And I'm just like, do you realize that three div tags would have done all of this work? Why are there 10 tables on this page? But that's because I knew to look behind the curtain and be like, oh, I know that this could be a lot more efficient if I did this, and none of this stuff was necessary. Also, coders having the same thing with being like, you wrote this in 50 lines, but you really could have done this in 20. if you had just remembered that this function doesn't do one thing, but it does 2 or 3 things at the same time if you handle it correctly. And for whatever reason, that issue continues to persist. Mostly because you have things that are just like, we're just going to simplify the UI. Don't worry about it. No, I want to worry about it. Show me the things.
I mean, like, I don't mind the simplification of things, right? Because there are people who just don't need to know that.
Well, I guess it depends on who, like, what it's simplifying and who it's simplifying it to.
So what I'm saying is, like, again, you and I, Kev, like, we grew up with file systems, but we also use iPads.
Yes.
We know what file systems are. I can still navigate the Files app on my iPad, but still can come to Windows, Mac, and Linux and still navigate a file system. So again, there was no de-skilling there. The people who are having trouble with it are the people who never used what we used before the iPad showed up, before the iPhone showed up. There wasn't a de-skilling, there was just a lack of skill.
Yeah.
Because I type, I didn't forget cursive.
Yeah.
I mean, I may need to look up how to write a letter every now and then, but that's because I've not used it.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I still know cursive. It isn't because I type, I don't use cursive and I forgot it. When it comes to these conversations of AI and finding out that, oh, people have discovered thinking for the first time, like, no, these people just weren't really thinking to begin with. And now they're like, oh, if I don't know, sat and pondered the problem, I solved it and I didn't have to write a single prompt. So you mean to tell me your entire life, it's probably true, like your entire life, you've not really sat with a problem. And it's probably a lot of men who deal with toxic masculinity. They ain't got time to think. It's just meathead solution to solve a problem.
Yeah.
So we're now discovering that all these people who want to get rich quick but couldn't do it because they did not know how to code or use a computer are now using AI to do those things. And then when it's getting expensive or when it eventually goes away, it's going to be exposed that they never knew.
And what brings it down quicker or accelerates that is the former when it gets expensive, because everybody has been doing this on the free.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been investing in this and doing this. The signs, the flyers, the logos, all of that was done because it was free or cheaply accessible enough for people to utilize that stuff. But once it becomes to a degree where it's put up or shut up time for folk, I mean, like, okay, now use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, ooh, this cuts into my bottom line, or this would probably be cheaper to have someone design X as opposed to typing prompts to make X, like flyer, logo, banners, assets, that kind of thing. Because as we definitely know, you can't tell someone to stop doing it. All you just have to do is wait for it to be more expensive for them to basically wait for it to be problematic for it and be like, cool, here's some options, or here's something that you can think of in the process. Because
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, because more often than not, you just have to wait. You just almost have to wait it out. It's like, hey, I know. Hey, this is not great. Oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, this thing that I said was not great. Cool. Here's the options. Here are the alternatives. The alternatives on the field still stand.
I mean, and like the thing is, like, it's just gonna expose, gonna expose a whole bunch of people who like it's gonna be the worst. Oh, you said you use Microsoft Office, but you've never owned a copy.
Yeah.
You don't know how to do a mail merge.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then having to rush and then like look up 3 different tutorials on like a bunch of YouTube tutorials to like do something to like, because all of a sudden the bottom fell out over the weekend, and now you're like, okay, what are alternatives? Quickly. Like,
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's nice to be able to like open up something, and like I will say this. So my uncle had passed away over the weekend. No, it's fine. I meant to mention something earlier, but things it's been a time. So my mom was going through some old photos. She found an old photo of the both of them as children. Unfortunately, it was super washed out. So I took a picture of it, put it in Google Photos, and I'm gonna tell you, it's nice to be able to say, hey, could you darken this photo? Or even using image recognition, and I was like, hey, this looks a little blown out. Would you like some help? And I'm like, yes, please. Make this image a little bit more legible or something. And like it does that. But if that's like your whole ass job, and you're just outsourcing that to just prompts as opposed to knowing where like the dials and settings in Photoshop are, yeah, that's a problem. Like I have no, like again, like I've put before, I have no problem if you're using something to kind of make something a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier for the average person who like this is not their job.
Yeah.
Like to darken a photo, I feel like, all right, that's like the least egregious thing I could have done.
Yeah.
The photo existed. I got Google to make it darker. That was it. Also, it was pointless because then my mom found a better photo. To which I did think about that town's water I wasted. I do think about these things. I do. But I was trying to help my mom out.
Yeah.
So forgive me. She's going through a time. And like it kind of makes me feel bad, like because I remember the conversation we were having a couple of years ago when I said like this does make things more accessible. And again, it's that conversation. The worst people took that argument and made it and like invalidated it. Like I remember, was it the that whole writing thing that goes on in November? And how like I think it was the creator of that, one of the organizers of that event was like, AI makes things more accessible. I was like, he's not wrong, but also that's not the way I was thinking. Is that what I sound like when I said it? Because that's not what I mean.
No.
I know.
You think about this. Okay, sorry.
Can we just talk about the amount of people who are just like, it makes things more accessible, and every disabled artist and their mom pulled up to be like, and so what are you saying about me at this moment?
Like when you're thinking about the confines of, as somebody who has, is a photographer and has used like darkening pictures and whatnot, if it takes a job that would be hard for you to do and do a job and do the thing and makes it somewhat presentable, sure. But then also that use case could be used as YouTube tutorials, guides, how-tos, so to speak, learning and like, filling gaps in one skill set to be able to make that thing work. Also utilizing somebody else's time and talents to be able to make that themselves. And I'm all for like, using AI as a tool, and specifically a tool to get a little bit done and a hard thing, or basically a lot of tasks done in a very small amount of time. And I'm all, I get that. I understand that. But when it's also like, I need a flyer done, and back in the day when you needed a flyer done, you cracked open Word and threw a few clip art and
print studio, print shop,
and
insert print here,
insert thing here, and you printed it out in color, and you had a flyer within 5 minutes. Like, that skill set never left. So when I think about a flyer, I could throw a flyer together in about 10 minutes, not thinking about it, using stock assets from, or Gettys, or whatever else, wherever I can get my hands on, and just knocking out a quick little flyer real quick. My YouTube logo is something I made in GIMP, and I slapped that together in like 10 minutes, and it's been my logo for the past, I don't know, 10, 11 years.
Yeah, Major's house was created because I just found just made squares and a triangle and put M and H in it.
Right. And so
Anka put better letters in there.
Yeah, and so to be fair, it's like in collaborative, there's people that you can go to and put a little something in the hand, or will do it for the good, out of the goodness of their heart, to help out, and they'll make it work for you. But it's one of those things, like, you can either, like, say there's a use case there for it, but what I will always say is I'm not gonna use that in lieu of someone's work.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to use that in lieu of not furthering my skills, or not sharpening up the arrows in my quiver.
Yeah, my thing is, like, I'm not using, like, it's not something I use to make a profit.
I'm not using it to make a profit. It's basically making my endeavors easily, or it's not in direct thing, like, this is how I use for my business, but it's more likely I need to figure out how to darken or lighten up all these, like, 10 or 50, like 10 to 20 pictures in a set, and I don't want to have to go through every single one in GIMP to do it. But I can just put this in the AI and say, AI, lighten these pictures up, and it does. And I say, okay, I like that. I don't like that. I like some of these. This works for me. This doesn't work for me. But at least I'll be able to try. But I wouldn't do that as far as, like, oh, this is my business demand stack.
And, like, for me, like, here is every, just work from today, notes and stuff that I've created using Claude. It was like, look, keep track of the schedule, keep me up to date, stuff that I'm working on. Like, I have not necessarily conversations, but being able to kind of, like, say, hey, I'm running into this issue, let's work through it. And then being able to get a lot of the diagnosis and stuff, so that way I can keep track, make sure, hey, if I see it again, I know where I saw it. But also something that keeps my knowledge up.
Yeah.
There's a whole ass website that has everything I've worked on. So I can always go back at any point in time, go to this website, look up an issue, and then fix the problem. I have the stuff I've worked on before. This is all tailored to my infrastructure. And, like, this is what I like. I would like, again, this is what I mean too. Like, hey, any work that I've done, you know what? There it is. Have at it. But yeah, people are, like, just replacing human beings. Are you watching 2 minutes back? Well, at least the stream is back up, so I like that. I figured it was back up because you were responding to things we were saying.
I like on my side that the ads are working. Like, I refresh, the ads are working, but the ads break.
I thought
I can't watch the stream.
I thought I got you to bypass that, but damn.
That's cool. I'm gonna check it on Firefox, see what that does.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, to get back to the Maryland stuff. I know we took a detour again. How did we get here? But yeah, I know a couple of weeks ago we did talk about Apple closing several locations, including the one over at Towson, Maryland. This is coming from MacRumors. I see, quote, "We recognize that decisions of this scale involve complex business considerations," the lawmakers said. "However, we urge Apple to reconsider whether there are viable paths forward that would preserve jobs and maintain a retail presence in the region. Maryland residents value employers who invest in their workforce and demonstrate a sustained commitment to the communities they serve. We stand ready to engage constructively with Apple to better understand this decision and to explore potential solutions." Oh, live is still broken? Boo. I mean, well, the stream is still up. I mean, even though you're 2 minutes behind. Well, nope, it looks like it's about to break again for me now. So yeah, it's definitely good to see that there are some people sitting there fighting, that at least fighting for the store, the unionized workers that work there. Again, yeah, I'm always looking at this. I've been looking at this from a union standpoint, but I mean, they're absolutely right too. Like, there are people who were probably going to the store to get Mac service, to actually buy the products. And now there's like one less place to go do that. Like, I necessarily wouldn't want to take my MacBook to a Best Buy. I'm sure Best Buys do great work. But the fact that I can go to a Mac store, an Apple store, take my MacBook, say, "Hey, can y'all look at this?" So yeah, good on the folks over in Maryland for looking at that. And more Apple news. Also coming from MacRumors, Apple faces dozens of lawsuits over AirTag stalking after the class action suit was denied.
Wow.
So Apple is facing over 30 lawsuits from people who claim to have been stalked using Apple AirTags. The filing comes after an AirTag lawsuit from 2022 failed to get class certification. In each filing, Apple is accused of releasing the AirTag while being aware that it could be purchased and used by abusive, dangerous individuals to track, coerce, control, and otherwise endanger and abuse innocent victims. Obscuro says the Genius Bar is always full regardless of store. It is. That's why I like to make appointments. Which again, you can't do it on Best Buy. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Apple did release this AirTag willingly knowing that it was going to be used for nefarious reasons?
No. But it's like it was that thing that we had that argument of like, yeah, it's like, did they make it for nefarious options? No. And they had at the time a way to be able to like pick up that you're being tracked by AirTag, but it is like to the degree and like scale of them being like they are being used almost solely for tracking people outside of their knowledge. It's like,
is the scale as big as it's being reported?
I mean,
or are we again dealing with a situation where reports of bad news drive clicks and views more than AirTag does what AirTag was designed to do?
Right. And I can say like, yes, does what's supposed to do. It's just at a scale that bad actors are utilizing it. So I don't think that I don't think Apple is at this moment doing things for the nefarious reasons. I just, for the life of me, it's just like there's kind of, I'm just looking at this being like, there are a lot of of ways and means for this thing to be in the hands of bad actors, and a lot of bad actors are utilizing this for bad action.
But then I would point, just like then when these reports started coming out, Tile.
Yeah. And again, yes. And you were still correct.
Like, Tile is not catching the heat. They were doing it for longer.
Right.
Like, before the AirTag and even after Apple fixed it.
But Tile is also not a $1 trillion company. And I guess in people and it's more I guess in a way more accessible to get these AirTags as opposed to and they're not really that expensive.
Tile is less expensive than an AirTag.
Right.
And Tile functionality was in more things than AirTags or Find My technology.
Yeah.
Because my key, I have like a key organizer that has built-in Tile. It doesn't work anymore because it was a pain to get to work or charge. So there is now also an AirTag on it. Mm-hmm. But in order for me to use the Tile functionality of this key thing, of this key organizer that was not made by Tile, I had to download the Tile app. Where, I mean, and like, sure, you can make the argument too, like, oh, like every iPhone, like you don't have to download an app for the AirTag thing to work. Mm-hmm. Anybody with an iPhone will be able to help track an AirTag. I will say, like, Apple did not get everything right the first time. But like, again, when it was pointed out, I want to say like it was within the week, Apple sent updates to make it more noticeable that somebody was being tracked. Yeah. They may have drugged their feet on getting the the Android version of the app to work.
Yeah.
And I would argue, like, when I tried to use it, it still wasn't all that great. Mm-hmm. And it's a thing where you would have to know to download the Android version to get it to work.
It's like I'm more like they're are they making the steps? Yes. Are those steps very very minuscule? Yes. But
I would say their argument. I mean, I would say the way they're going about it is almost in the way I would, go about it. Just assume that nobody's doing the worst thing possible and addressing the worst thing possible as it keeps getting reported.
Right.
Like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, we didn't know that we were storing your notifications in this database even after you deleted the app. We should fix that.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and that's kind of where so when you said, well, people kept saying this about AirTags, but people didn't say this about Tile, I'm just like, get them too. But then again,
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I am the
Tell
resident podcast person who just goes, I remember the first couple of times we were talking about AirTags, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this, because people are going to, and Major was just kind of like, respectfully, people can't just like not do things because bad people exist and might think of terrible ways to use them. And I'm just like,
for sure.
And this is why I don't get excited about technology as much on this show as I used to. I call it the Sin effect.
It was like, listen, everyone, I want y'all to let Major be happy about tech again, please.
Please.
Like, it was the thing with the Ring stuff where it was like, hey, with the Ring cameras, like, this could help you find your dog. And it's like, do you not know how this could go, how bad this could go? And I was like, yeah, this could go bad. This could go bad.
That's why every time I post something, I was like, look, I'm gonna let it sit here. I'm gonna let Sin look at it, and it was like, all right. He ain't said nothing. All right, we can be good. We're good. It is like the next day, like a week, like it's like 8 days later, just enough for a podcast episode to air. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
How?
Major out here just like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave that article off our list this week.
So many articles I leave off for that reason.
Yep.
So many.
my apologies.
You ruined me. Damaged goods for tech.
Yeah, it's just like, it's that whole thing where it's like, when you do tech like the way we do tech, it's like, it was like They Live, where it's like you put the glasses on and then you see the people for who they really are, and it's like, oh yeah, because it's I can't tell you how many times I have literally have been like, Mom, this is AI. Mom, this is AI. Mom, this is scam. Mom, this is AI. Mom, this is scam.
Oh my God. Oh, I know you. I think you see this. What I posted earlier this week on social media. I got by a phishing email, and I'm so upset with myself.
Right.
Major, I need you to not joke about this. Now, I say I need you to not joke about this, we're doing onboarding this week at my new job. Hi, everybody. So I'm getting a phishing thing, right? We're in the middle of the phishing course. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen this so many times. What, all right, fine. We're going to go through the video. We're going to click the little quizzes and all this other stuff. And then almost immediately, like as soon as the course is over, I get an email from address from the CEO of my company. I'm like, what is this? You know what? This is a pop quiz. They're testing me. I got this. DM the CEO. Again, the CEO, and I need to point this out because the company's really small. Just like, hey, did you send me an email today asking me some stuff? And they're just like, right, so happy to hear from you. Welcome to the team. Also, I'm on vacation. In a completely different continent than the one that I lived in. I did not send you an email today. Oh. So I then went and had to report stuff only to find out that it was actually an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, I thought this was a pop quiz. I thought y'all were just making sure I didn't fall asleep during the video. This was a real thing that happened.
Also, it was a real email.
It was.
Oh, shit.
Because it was just like,
I thought they were testing me.
I'm like iron with it, and I've always told my like my clients when I was like doing the, you know, the stuff for people, I am like, say, if you see something that looks like something that you shouldn't click on, do not click on it. I don't care if it's an ad for deodorant. Don't click on it. Tell me. Take a screenshot of it.
The email that got me this week was from Namecheap, my actual domain registrar.
Oh,
for a domain I own. With an amount that it would have cost. And I'm like, did I not put enough money into my account to make sure this auto renews?
So then what you do is you click off the email, you log in on a separate browser, you log into their.
If I did this for every, so again, this is the point where it's like, if I did this for every email, this would be ridiculous. I understand what you're getting at, and it's probably something maybe I should do. Security over, this is convenience over security for me.
And you looked at the domain, but before you clicked on it, you looked at the domain, right?
No, I did not, because again, there was enough in that. There was enough information in that email. And yes, sure, like it was only, so I'm gonna tell you what snapped me out of it and what kept me safe. The domain, the link in the little button I clicked in the email didn't resolve properly. So it took me nowhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's odd. And it was only when I looked back at the email, I looked at the sender. And it was like, okay. And then I hovered over the button and I was like, oh, damn. Okay, they got me.
It was a misfire. That's what it was. The gun jam.
Very much so. There's still two-factor auth. So there was going to be a point where this was not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
But there was still enough information, and I was just working with the domain registrars. Because remember, I'm also doing migrations too. I also did within the past week re-up my account, and some domains did renew to where I wanted to make sure. So it was enough to where I was like, I should probably check into this. And because it was the morning, I was not looking very closely. So like, yeah, that did get me, but it wasn't something like, this is like a dummy PayPal. Like, no, they actually sent it to the right email address with the right information in it. It wasn't like your domain is expiring. It's like majorshouse.com is expiring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I should probably look into that. Like that domain has a lot of other shit attached to it.
I have. Sometimes I get email. Sometimes I get text messages from because my cell phone is essentially was like my mom's cell phone became my number. So I get things asking for my mom all the time. And so what they'll do is they'll basically add for things that are close, that basically my mom would see like, that they're asking about this. And then immediately try to respond to it. And I'm like, no. So basically I am like shouldering the thing from it. And so I get stuff asking my mom questions for things. And I'm like, nope, get away. I was
Yeah, if you're texting me, I already know, like, yeah, no. But again, this email was convincing enough to where it's like, it did get me. And like, it's embarrassing, but it's that thing where it's like, look, it happens to the best of us.
Right.
We're going to get got. I'm just going to tell you, it got me. It got me. Right. You got me.
And the reason why I say that to you is not to you, but also to our audience, to let them know. Before you really look at anything, check the domain.
Yeah.
You don't even have to look on especially in Google, especially in Gmail, where you can just like hover over the email.
And some email clients do allow you to do that too.
Yeah.
Like Thunderbird is just it's just like Firefox, but for email. So like it was like when I look back into Thunderbird, I was able to hover over, see that the domain was wrong, the sender was wrong. And it's like, okay, yeah, like these are things that I would have caught if it was more obvious.
Yeah.
But this one was not. I am a little embarrassed, but it is a thing that does happen. It will get the best people. I am glad that it may have been vibe coded, or it just could have been a terrible ass coder.
Probably was a good chance terrible ass coder. Like,
but yeah, like again, it does happen.
Fishers are. That's what fishing is. It's like casting a net and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
They were playing a lot. They were playing very fast and loose with that.
And like something else could have possibly happened. It probably was supposed to send me to a bad place, and then now my Mac Studio is fucked. We'll find out.
It was, I mean, you know, like I say, the gun jams, and you were in a good shape.
But am I? Because that keylogger could be sitting there.
I mean, you're a little bit wiser now, but you know, you just have to be a little careful. Might have to run malware bites a few more times.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on here. I know we still got some gaming stuff to cover. Senators, this is from Ars Technica. Senators banned themselves from prediction markets after candidates bet on own races.
Yep.
U.S. senators voted unanimously to ban themselves from making bets on prediction markets yesterday, about a week after Kalshi said it caught 3 congressional candidates betting on their own campaigns. that's about where I want to go with that. The next thing I would like to ask for the senators to do: ban insider trading with the actual stock market. Mm-hmm. No senator, no politician should have a stock portfolio.
No. Yep.
Do that one next.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all won't.
You bad. Bet you. I bet you. I bet you.
And rounding out the tech news with fascism. Also from Ars Technica, DHS abuses 1930s customs law in an attempt to get data on a Canadian from Google.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the kicker. The Canadian has not been in the US for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers for the man who has not been named are alarmed in part because they say that the man has not entered the United States in more than a decade. Quote, I don't know what the government knows about our client's residence, but it's clear that the government isn't stopping to find out. Excuse me. This is coming from Michael Perloff, senior staff attorney at the American Civil Liberties Union of the District of Columbia, who is representing the man in a lawsuit against Mark Wayne Mullen, the newly minted secretary of DHS, over the summons. The lawsuit alleges that DHS violated the customs law that gives the agency the power to request records from businesses and other parties. Let me see, where is it? Let's see, quote, it says right in the statute, it's for records and testimony about the correctness of an entry, the liability of a person for duties, taxes, and fees, compliance with the basic customs law. And it's all it was ever envisioned to be used for. This is from Chris Duncan, a former assistant chief counsel for U.S. Customs and Border Protection who now works as a private practice attorney representing importers and exporters. Perloff argues that the government is using the fact that big tech companies are based in the U.S. to request information it would not otherwise be able to get. Quote, it's using that geographical fact to get information that otherwise would be totally outside of its jurisdiction. I mean, we're talking about the physical movements of a person who lives in Canada. The summons specifically asks for any records and other information related to, quote, history of account suspensions or violations of terms due to threatening or harassing language. The complaint describes the man's post as passionate, even sometimes off color, but never contain threats or incite violence. So here it is. People from outside of the United States are being attacked by the United States government at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, the sound exists, but unfortunately, I'm not giving Discord my money, so I can't use it. So, Sin, you have to forgive me for saying this without the sound. Are you ready for a revolution?
Oh, we can fix that. I can just add that to my soundboard. That's no problem.
But what soundboard? The one, like, if it's the one in Discord, we can't bring sounds from our servers into this serverless call.
It's the same one that I don't know if y'all can hear that actually.
No.
Let me not do that. Let me not experiment with that right now.
And in more DHS news, ICE plans to develop own smart glasses to supplement its facial recognition app. This is coming from 404.
Because we absolutely need that.
This is coming from 404 Media. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is exploring developing a pair of smart glasses that would supplement the agency's facial recognition mobile Fortify application, which lets officers scan someone's face to verify their citizenship, according to a Department of Homeland Security official. Another person who attended a conference where a senior ICE official spoke about the plans also described them to 404 Media. The smart glasses, if they came to fruition, would be yet another technological escalation in the Trump administration's mass deportation campaign. 404 Media previously revealed ICE and Customs Border Protection were using internal app Mobile Fortify to scan people's faces and instantaneously query a wide range of government databases to decide whether to detain the person or not. I'm sorry, what? Magna, what are you?
Quote,
oh, God.
To quote some much smarter people than me, what the cinnamon toast fuck is happening here?
You know, they tell us, I mean, the commander in chief, the head of state, the man who was certified the president to be the president of the United States of America, because we can't just go say people won an election all willy-nilly. He was certified to be president of the United States. He told us, granted it was supposed to be behind closed doors, which I later found out, that we don't have money for healthcare and childcare. But we have money to develop smart glasses that will help Call of Duty wannabes, Call of Duty cosplayers, target black and brown people exclusively. To remove them from the country. But we don't have money for education. We don't have money to house people. We don't have money to feed the children. But we have money to dole out government contracts to tech companies to rampantly use AI to do the bidding of fascistic people who are running the world, its economy, its resources, its people. My wife told me that there is somebody she's working with who has been apparently without electricity for a year.
True. Ooh, man.
There's other circumstances, but the fact that somebody can just be without electricity for a year, regardless of the circumstances. the fact that we are watching a country in real time systematically murder people in 5 other countries simultaneously, when everybody lost their shit on February 23rd, 2022, when a country just rolled a tank into another country.
That country was white. So
Both countries were white.
the person, the white country was doing to the not white people. So
Oh, the reason why it's not being talked about?
yeah,
Ah,
that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
but yeah, we hear about the other one because the people who are being hurt by it are white. Coincidentally, they live beside the people who are essentially the same people.
Yeah, this is
But just because a man-made border is there, it's like they are less white than these white people.
yeah. It's like
These people are white. They're Russian.
Like it's like a neighbor excuse, like a neighbor dispute.
Those Russians are killing the white people. Which one's the Russian? I don't know.
Like these are Russian adjacent to literally, and so.
We don't have money for clean drinking water, but we've got money to put a blockade on a blockade.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A blockade on a blockade.
$1 billion a day, people. $1 billion a day.
That was open, but now it's closed. Now it's open, but now it's closed. Now it's open, but closed.
Dead. I'm live again. Dead. I'm live again.
Okay. I'm up. I'm down. You all right?
Sometimes you just have to keep from crying, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You really do.
Mm-hmm.
You truly have to.
And last but not least, again, so many things we could be hacking right now. So many things we could be hacking. But no, we have to make fucking teachers' lives miserable right now.
I mean, that's a yeah.
Actually, just real quick. Team huddle.
Yes.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
No, not you.
Oh.
Hey, hackers. Listen to me, okay? I, again, being of sound body and mind, would not reasonably advise you to do anything that might be harmful to places, people, infrastructures, data, and any of this information. But I would like to encourage you to observe that you are underutilizing your talents. There are people with student loans that they got at a time when their brain was not fully formed and therefore unable to process things like long-term consequences. I would like you to consider applying your talents in that direction.
I mean, also they're just nation states that are just systematically killing people who also do not have fully formed brains, fully matured brains. They don't get to live long enough to see that happen. All over the world. we could do something about that.
Because I mean, there are things you could absolutely be doing if you're going to do something, like be on the right side of history, make it count. This isn't how you do that.
This ain't it.
Go on ahead and fix it. Take it back to the drawing board and fix it.
So many places you could just. We heralded as heroes. But you do this instead.
You have all this time, all this resource to do some old bullshit. It's crazy. It's crazy.
This is coming from TechCrunch. Hackers deface school login pages after claiming another Instructure hack. And Instructure is the company. On Tuesday, education tech giant Instructure disclosed a data breach where hackers stole students' private information, including their names, personal email addresses, and messages sent between teachers and students. That's what you stole. That's what you stole! Now it appears hackers were able to compromise the Instructure again, this time defacing several schools' login pages to the company's platform Canvas, which allows schools to manage coursework and assignments and communicate with students. The message says the hackers will publish stolen data on May 12th if the company does not negotiate a settlement.
Shame.
It does not fucking make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some video games.
Let's talk about some video games.
Yeah, let's talk about video games. Yeah.
Full Metal Gear Solid 2 source code leaks on April 30th. This is coming from Eurogamer. The files posted to 4chan reportedly include the raw uncompressed source code for every version up to the PS Vita, as well as 30 plus gigabytes of assets, including unused stuff.
What a thrill indeed.
Carry 69. Of course, Metal Gear fans would recognize April 30th as a day that's very significant to the game's story.
Oh yeah.
What are you laughing at? Do you know what day it is today? George Washington took office as the first president of the United States of America 200 years ago today.
All right, there you go.
What a thrill.
Wrong game. Wrong game.
Mm-hmm. Still don't care. you gotta do these Metal Gear Solid jokes when you get these Metal Gear Solid jokes.
So I guess happy anniversary, George Washington. Also have some source code.
And also boo George Washington.
Yes. Moving on to GameSpot. The ESA says bill pushing for offline versions of live service games will hurt developers. Now, before I go any further, I want to ask you, what do you think would hurt the developers if offline versions of live service games were to exist?
Like the ability to push out microtransactions and battle passes.
Is that hurting the developers?
My thoughts at this moment are a crime.
Because real talk, that's the only reason I would say that would hurt developers is that they can't monetize. So, but to me, I don't see why that would hurt them.
I would argue that would hurt the publisher.
So
Publisher, yes. Dev, I don't think so.
Or capital D developers, TM.
Shareholders, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. So I am about to step out of the black box because I want to be perceived in this moment of frustration.
Full frame or just... Actually, I don't know if I can do full frame. I haven't labeled these other scenes.
So. So let me get this straight. Live service not being a thing is going to hurt developers. Is that with these ears?
Yeah. I have the reason for that. I just wanted to get this out of the way. Or their reasoning for it. ESA's reasoning for it.
So I don't know what the reasoning is. You know what? Major, here's what we're gonna do. For the sake of order, I want you to read what they said before I ask several consecutive questions.
Okay. Let's see, where did it go? I know I seen it somewhere. Oh, yes, here it is. This is the ESA statement provided to ABC 10 in California. Quote, many games depend on evolving technology, licensed content, and online systems that change over time. Assembly Bill 1921 could force developers to spend limited time and resources keeping old systems running instead of creating new games, features, and technology. In the end, this policy doesn't reflect how games actually work today. This bill sets strict rules that could ultimately mean fewer new and innovative experiences for players. Sin, your response.
Could you just repeat that? Just run that by me one more time, please.
The whole thing?
Yeah, just the thing that they said, yeah.
Okay. Quote, many games depend on evolving technology, licensed content, and online systems that change over time. Assembly Bill 1921 could force developers to spend limited time and resources keeping old systems running instead of creating new games, features, and technology. In the end, this policy doesn't reflect how games actually work today. Excuse me. This bill sets strict rules that could ultimately mean fewer new and innovative experiences for players.
So, I have a question. Where was this? Because we're talking about things that hurt developers, things that keep them from producing things, that would keep them from having successful careers, from being able to put greater and more expanded artistic vision into the world. I have a question. I have several questions. Where were we during the raft of articles when people were being embraced? Where was this when unchallenged, by the way, most if not all of esports was purchased by Dubai specifically? My question continues to, hey, when y'all said we could take these developers and just use AI, generative AI, to do the jobs of the coders, the QA, and asset design, where was this? Where was this? You know, I feel, right? One thing that would definitely be helpful to developers on the way that games are made is to keep them employed making games. Y'all didn't think that that was worth arguing. No, no, no. What you decided that was worth arguing was this bullshit.
I want to highlight.
Please speak into the microphone clearly and explain. And pardon my French here. The fuck is this?
I don't know. Because I want to point out, keeping old systems running. Just so I'm clear, this is to keep an offline version of an online game, right?
So I think that people could download or have on a physical medium and not connect it to anything because there would be no server. Okay,
right.
You know
so
what?
There's no backend infrastructure.
Work.
So
wasn't this
what old system would you be keeping online if the game was designed to be offline? If I'm look, I may be but a lowly IT professional, but when a system is offline, it is not in fact online. Therefore, the people who would be responsible for keeping a system online for an offline game would not exist, and therefore could move on to new projects. Which means they could be creating new games, features, and technology.
Because instead of you instead of nickeling and diming people to death, you could just make part 2 or part 3 of a game.
Or just hear me out. The money you would have had to spend to keep the servers online,
you just pay people.
You could invest that in.
You could invest that into the company. You could invest that into the company and pay people.
My word.
Well, my goodness gracious. Well, my biscuits are just buttered, aren't they? I have so many questions. Still.
The bill set strict rules that could ultimately mean fewer new and innovative experiences for players. Because...
Hold on for a moment. Surely not that statement from people that argue back and forth about whether or not to add colorblind modes and closed captions. Surely not.
Or the same people who we love brown shooter. We should make brown shooter 2. And brown as in color palette of game, also the people they shoot.
Mm-hmm. Foolishness, Kevin. That's what we got going on over here today. That's what's on offer. Foolishness.
Capitalism breeds innovation like this.
One thing capitalism is going to do is be a mess.
Glad you said that.
Because I just want to say this, right? I was just kind of like, I think one of the things we regularly say over here is the very interesting thing, if there is anything interesting about it, the very interesting thing about capitalism is that capitalists will regularly get in the way of their own money. It's the way that I am just like, I would purchase this and y'all have spent more money. You have spent more money trying to convince me that I don't want something.
Right.
Than the time that you could just let me hand you all of the money for doing the thing I asked for.
And generally, if you made it cheaper, generally people would buy it at the quantities you want them to buy it at. And consistently.
Now, here's the thing. On this, also, offline versions of your games. Offline versions of your games would mean y'all have to pay for less general infrastructure to have to maintain all of this, as Major mentioned earlier, and
Also, would not
that
drive up revenue
Yeah.
because if a game was available offline, it would mean they could sell it in perpetuity without having to worry about it checking into a server.
Yeah. And then people would be able to, if they need the server, they can spend money themselves to host their own games.
but you
and
want
run
to
their
know
own
what
servers.
you know what the tea is. Do you know what the tea is here? Though the real tea, the part that I don't even know if they mentioned in this article, and Major, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This bill probably comes up because of and in the wake of several games and servers that people have enjoyed that just evaporated and disappeared.
Well,
And
yes,
they were
yes. It's inspired
they were
by
just like-
Stop Killing Games.
no like it's just like one of those, right? Just very simple. This game could have been couch co-op. Like this game could have been couch co-op, but y'all decided that it needed to be online, and then y'all decided that y'all have this. Maybe it's not even about the money as much as you just want the ability to control what people can and cannot enjoy and when. And fuck you specifically.
This is why I say that capitalism is fascism.
Yep.
I mean, I may not have been the first to say it, but it's almost like when I thought I invented the word spork. Don't laugh. I really did. I thought I was cooking until I looked it up and said, oh, I definitely did not. But I feel like, look, I was one of the first people, at least I will say that I was at least one of the first people I know who brought capitalism and fascism together. I was one of the first people I know in my sphere of influence who was saying that shit. And then everybody else started saying, oh, thank you for joining my TED Talk.
Yep.
Every accusation is a confession.
These are their confessions.
But speaking of capitalism capitalizing, GameStop submits a $56 billion offer to buy eBay.
No.
That was not the most bizarre thing I read about all of that, even though,
Was it the follow-up?
yes, granted, multiple things were odd. GameStop is around. It has money to spend, and it was to buy eBay. When I initially read this, I thought it was the other way around. I thought eBay was going to buy GameStop, which made more sense to
that
me.
Would make more. That would definitely make more sense.
However, that was not what I read. I read this instead. I'm like, oh. However, comma, not the wildest thing I read about this. Again, both of these articles come from well, the first one was from Engadget. This one's from GameSpot. GameStop CEO trying to buy eBay says he was banned from eBay, but his page remains live with all listings. Which actually is worse than what I initially read, which was the fact that before this article was updated, it read that he was just selling GameStop shit
Yeah.
on eBay
Yeah.
to try to fund the purchase of eBay.
Which is funny to me. 'Cause
But since then, he alleged he was banned, which apparently he was not, which again only got more absurd.
it's just like, it's just a gift that keeps on kicking you in the nethers. Because really, imagine you trying to buy something. Imagine you, the CEO of a company, is trying to do a thing in the same way that people are trying to do themselves. Like, I can't afford something. I want to buy something. I can't afford it. I'm going to sell things on eBay to afford the things that I want, the thing that I want to afford.
It's giving broke college student.
It's giving poor. That's it smells. It smells broken here.
Not him trying
Because
to
again,
channel his inner Jensen.
You know something? I want McDonald's. I don't.
You save.
I want McDonald's. You have McDonald's money? Not yet, but I'm about to sell my PS2, and then I'm gonna have McDonald's money, and then you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. As soon as I sell this lemonade, I'm gonna have McDonald's. Like, you are doing the level of shenanigans that I did in college in order to afford the things I want. I used eBay to sell the things I needed so that I could get the things that I wanted. It's like, let me sell my PlayStation 2 game so I can get my PlayStation 3.
I mean, I sold my Switch 1 to get my Switch 2. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I sold my Xbox One X to get my Xbox Series X.
Yep.
Wait, is that what? Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's trying to GameStop his way to buy eBay.
That's what he did. He did that.
He's
But
trying.
he did that on eBay.
He's trying.
He's trying. It's like, imagine you trying to. It's like you trying to sell things to get the thing that you want
on
like
the place you bought.
On the place you're trying to buy. So you've already completely lost the plot. You didn't go to Sotheby's. You didn't go to any of these other auction sites to go sell stuff. You decided to go, no, I'm gonna sell it on eBay because that makes by far the most sense.
I mean, to be fair,
eBay.
Musk went to Twitter and tweeted his way into buying Twitter.
And tried to back out, and then
you see these tweets? Nah, dog.
Nah. See.
You tweeted a legally binding contract in this threaded post.
See those tweets we've been telling you to not do. I know your legal team has been telling you not to do. You did that, ergo, cough it up, son. Like, let's think about it. I said that's the thing about malignant narcissists. They don't listen to nobody, and reality hits them in the face. They don't learn nothing but reality, and that's it. They don't learn nothing from nobody but their consequences.
If that
consequence, if even that, and more times it's like I didn't guy boss hard enough, and then them consequences from that decision happens, and then I'm like, well, I should have guy bossed a little less, and they still didn't learn from it.
Okay, if you know who learned from their consequences, or is about to, or maybe not, I don't know, because it was a settlement, and of course, when you settle, you don't have to admit wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Sony. Mm-hmm. Sony will soon settle the PlayStation Store class action lawsuit for $7.8 million.
Yep.
This is from Engadget. If you bought a digital game on the PlayStation Store between April 2019 and December 2023, you may soon receive some store credit in your account. A federal judge in San Francisco granted preliminary approval of a proposed $7.85 million settlement for a class action lawsuit that accused Sony of eliminating competition and monopolizing the market for its digital games through the PlayStation Store. So yeah, that lawsuit that we were talking about that was happening in the UK, apparently it's been happening in the US. It has recently been settled. And yeah, if you bought games in like that 4-year span, just about 4-year span, you may be entitled to some compensation. I want to say that I think. I owned a PS4 around that time. But I don't know if I bought anything.
I might have bought a thing or two.
So yeah. This will show up. Let's see. The law firm representing affected users posted a list of eligible games, which includes The Last of Us, NBA 2K18, and Need for Speed Rivals, and said there are more than 4.4 million eligible PlayStation Network accounts. For anyone who qualifies as part of the class action settlement, you'll see your PSN account credited once the final approvals are in. The court will have a fairness hearing on October 15th, which will see the final judgment and the plan for allocating the millions of dollars to eligible accounts. Wow. That's a lot. Okay, maybe not a lot. But it's still a bit. But yeah. So I would say check that out. You might be entitled to some compensation.
Yep.
And more CEO nonsense. Build a Rocket Boy
Yeah.
has laid off another 170 of its 250 employees and still going on about, yo, they sabotaged us. This is the best game ever and we got sabotaged. So yeah. In seemingly good news coming out of Microsoft this week, but then you also got to read the fine print. Xbox, and this is coming from Engadget. Xbox is ditching Microsoft Copilot AI, which seems odd given the new president or leader, or the new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma, was formerly of Microsoft's AI team.
Yep.
She's been saying all the right things. So all the Xbox fans, like, we're trying to get back to games. We're trying to, bring back exclusives and this, that, and the third. She's been saying all the right shit. They just recently released the Xbox mode for Windows. I have not tried it. I will not try it.
Yeah, I'm good.
But that's been put out. However, and I don't think that it is. Before she was tapped to lead Xbox, Sharma was president of Microsoft's core AI division, and several of her new hires are coming from her former team, CNBC reports. That includes Jared Palmer, Core AI's vice president of product, who joined Xbox to work on engineering and infrastructure, Tim Allen, Core AI's vice president of design and research, who will now lead design at Xbox, and Evan Chaki, a general manager at Core AI, who will be in charge of a team of engineers tasked with simplifying development. Given what we were talking about, especially with Cloudflare and Coinbase and their recent restructurings, when I see somebody who was working in an AI team at Microsoft leading a team of engineers to simplify development, I really hope that people at Microsoft are, and subsequently anybody who's developing on a Microsoft project, is polishing a resume as we speak.
I would. Now would be a good time to freshen it up.
I mean, granted, there's been layoffs at Microsoft left, right, and center.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't boding well when you hear that there is a team of engineers who is trying to simplify development.
Yep.
And I love how Engadget's like, those hires and Sharma's decision to retire Copilot suggests that AI might not be a big part of the public-facing products Xbox offers. Oh, okay, never mind. But it could be integrated into how the division is run and the tools it offers to developers. In more AI news, and one of the posts that caught the ire of gamers TM over on Threads, because while I don't see them in my timeline, they will show up in my mentions. Streamers and voice actors refuse to work with popular new gacha game over Gen AI concerns. To which someone said, they were upfront about the AI. I don't know why people are so angry about it.
Okay. Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
If I slide a cup across a table, and I tell you, I put hemlock in there. Nightshade, right? Do we, as a collective, do we understand that that's poisonous?
I mean, I was going to let you finish before I asked any follow-up questions, but I guess you have just now answered it. I am aware that it is now.
That it is poisonous, right? Like it can kill you.
I am on board now, yes.
So if I tell you before you drink it, hey, there's poison in there, do you think it would be unreasonable for me to just go, well, I don't know why you were so upset about that. I told you the poison was in there. What's wrong with you? Why are you upset? I only slid you a cup full of poison. I told you the poison was in there. It's like full transparency. You didn't have to drink it if you didn't want to drink it. And never minding the fact, bitch, you tried to poison me. Hello?
But they told you they had generative AI and it cut on sin.
Every day I wake up thankful for the fact that I know how to both shower and moisturize, because I know that these ash demons have never known a pleasant moment in their lives. What is wrong with them? I hope they step on nothing but a raft of Legos.
Oh God, yeah. Gee, what? Why? Yeah, this ain't looking great. An 18-minute generative AI anime short film in the theater.
Guess a no for me, dog.
Last bit of news, or last bit of gaming news here. Google just bought a stake in the maker of Eve Online to train its AI models. This is coming from Engadget. The company behind the long-running space sim Eve Online has entered into a partnership with Google in which the search giant will take a minority stake. In exchange, Google's DeepMind will train its AI technology on the game.
For what reason?
DeepMind is going to first study player behavior on isolated servers, as Eve Online requires skills that AI has not yet fully mastered. This is according to DeepMind's Adrienne Bolton, who mentions hurdles like long-term planning and continual learning.
Psycho Mantis didn't need to be a real person.
This is where I take the glass half empty approach or glass half full approach to this, knowing that it's probably not right. Because somebody else asked me, what's the reason? To which I did say, maybe, just maybe. Look, I would like to believe that maybe if you trained on player behavior, you could make smarter in-game AI. Like, you know how when you shoot a character in a game on his knee, he'll bend his knee and still come at you, but just with a busted kneecap? Like the movement would change or how they would react, or like, hey, it saw a flashlight. There's somebody over there. I should go investigate type of deal. Or you know how like it blew our minds when the guards of Metal Gear Solid would see your footprints in the snow and would say, hey, there are footprints here. We should investigate. Like that's kind of what I'm hoping we would see out of this. I do understand, and this is where the sin effect happens, that that's not what's going to happen. I know. But come on. And what made me feel somewhat good about what's making me see a glass half full is the fact that it's still DeepMind. The same company said, hey, we don't want this used in military applications. And because the bar for this shit is literally in hell at this point, it's like that's all I'm asking. Just don't kill people with it. But because we know what DeepMind technology is being used for now, you know, without their apparent consent. I mean, granted, they signed contracts, so is it legally not there? Did they legally not consent? Anything they produce belongs to Google and Google can do whatever they want to with it type of thing? Yeah. I would like to believe, but I can't. Also, CCP game. This is I kind of buried in here too. CCP Games, the devs who made and maintain EVE Online, have changed their name to Fenris Creations. So, there we go. Updates. I got updates for you. Who likes updates? Kev, this update might pertain to you because you've got a Pixel. Android 16 May update is rolling out. Pixel display, slow wireless charging speeds, so much more being fixed. This is Android 16 QPR3 on the Pixel 7a tablet. Fold 8, 8 Pro, 8A, 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, 9 Pro Fold, 9A, Pixel 10, Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and Pixel 10A. There is one security issue resolved in Android 16 May patch dated 2026 0501. There's also information here that I'm going to get to in a little bit. Let's see. Fix for slow charging speeds when the battery level is between 75 and 80% in certain conditions. Fix for an issue where the camera app could freeze while recording video and adjusting the zoom level. Fix for an issue that caused a persistent flickering while dot or visual noise to appear. That caused a persistent flickering white dot or visual noise to appear at the top of the display in certain conditions. Fix for an issue that could intermittently cause the screen to appear fuzzy, frozen, or display noise lines. Fix for an issue where the keyboard or input screen could appear frozen or incorrectly positioned in some apps under certain conditions. That's from 9 to 5 Google. However, also from 9 to 5 Google, Pixel 10's May 2026 update prevents you from installing older Android versions. With the May 2026 update rolling out now, Google is implementing an anti-rollback measure on Pixel 10 series devices that prevents the installation of any older Android version. In a notice available to read below, Google says that Pixel 10 series devices, specifically Pixel 10, the 10 Pro, 10 Pro XL, and 10 Pro Fold, won't be able to roll back to an older bootloader version and, in turn, an older Android build as well. This is far from unprecedented, as Google also currently shows the same notice for Pixel 6 series and Pixel 8 series devices from the May 2025 update. So if you were one to flash ROMs, or go back to older build versions, you may want to avoid this update. But, I mean, if you just own a Pixel and really don't care, update. And that's it. That's all we got. Sid, so glad you can join us and be perceived for the end of the show. And because I can see you, I'm going to ask you first, specifically, what do you have going on this week?
Tabletop games this weekend, and I have some picture wire and some nails, so we're gonna see about putting some art up around the house. Then trying to go places, wiggle around a little bit, you know, and do all of those varied things. Get ready for our second week of onboarding. And maybe drink some more water.
Dope. Should do more of that. Kev, what you got?
Sir.
What do you got?
Well, May has been really what I would say to be. I thought this was going to be the month where things will kind of settle. Me, you know, enjoying my Switch 2 purchase, enjoying it, being able to play some of the games that I had. But no, Nintendo said, actually, what you about to do is you're going to be pre-ordering Splatoon Raiders in July, and then it's like, oh wait. You're also going to be contemplating playing a Star Fox game that you have not played a Star Fox game since Star Fox Command on the DS, which it's not bad as people think it was. It's kind of weird. The control system is kind of weird, but you had a good time all the same. And so now I'm like, looks like more Switch 2. Looks like more Switch 2 games. I feel coming down the pipe, and even thinking about buying a Square Enix game on the Switch 2. Gasp, right? Not the one you think, but the Adventures of Elliot, which has a demo.
That would be for you. Yes, that would be it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that will work for me. Because I have the demo. I have not played it yet because I have been dealing with a bunch of other things that I've been dealing with, which is a bunch of really good indie games. And when I talk about a really good bunch of indie games, I mean a really bunch of good indie games. Yesterday I played Die in the Dungeon, which is kind of like a roguelike with die based skills, and then also another game called I think what's it called Island Tiles, like Island Tiles. Yeah, so it's kind of like a roguelike game where you like basically establish islands, and you have to establish a certain number of islands to complete your run, that kind of stuff. And then this morning, I had a bit of a free morning because my mom was with my I guess you could say my daughter's grandmother getting her hair done. And so I had a bit of a free morning. So I played some Dead as Disco and on the stream. And when I tell you that game is both not cozy, but just sweaty enough for me. Yeah, I can't say I have not been enjoying that, because I have been enjoying it. It's a combination of seafood mixed with Hi-Fi Rush with a little bit of No More Heroes for flavor. And I've been enjoying playing that in the infamous disco mode. The bosses hard, kind of hard, but really enjoyable to see how those transitions go, how the levels transition. Really good. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. Shout out to Brain Jar Games for sending me a key to that game. Pretty good. I really didn't expect to get a key to that. I really didn't. I was more like, I mean, I shoot your shot, and then they were like, yes, here you go.
I didn't know they were offering, but it's fine because I bought that shit anyway.
It was for me. I already knew. Like, I'm just not gonna mention these things because I already know. I think Mitch gonna buy them anyway. It makes
the obligation to play it goes down when I'm able to just buy them. Mm-hmm. But that was one where I kept going back to the demo.
Yeah.
To just play in that endless mode.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I got that email, it was in, it's like, oh, most def. We already here.
Yeah. So I was like, I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm going to continue playing that on the low. Funnily enough, it's a really good game to decompress with. I don't know why, but getting into Infinity Disco and just being like,
just let your mind wander, bro.
Just let your mind wander and play it. I have not done the thing where I play my own music yet, but
I forgot about that. I need to figure. I because everything is streaming for me. I need to find some music somewhere. I know I have a music directory somewhere on this computer. I gotta find it.
Yeah, because the way I've seen people like do their videos of like, I think one video I watched was like Thriller, and it was in that, and that one really was actually kind of interesting because I was like,
I saw Smooth Criminal.
Oh yeah,
Smooth Criminal with Michael in the suit.
Yeah.
And like they apparently modeled MJ, like, so it's like just MJ's moves. I'm like,
see, that's good. Come on now. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm there, but I'm also there, but I'm there.
And shout out to the people who are good enough to play the game and not need the button prompts. Mm-hmm. Because I need them every time. Because like I like, even with them there, I still fumble.
I am truly not at the point in the TISM where I don't need the.
Yeah, I need them button prompts.
I need to see them button prompts.
Yeah.
Accessibility tools for me, please.
Now, what gets me, because they color those button prompts based off of the controller.
Yeah.
So Xbox, they have the Xbox colors, and with PlayStation, the PlayStation colors. The colors themselves are what throw me off. So it's like when I switch from my Steam Deck to my DualSense.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you got the button shapes right, but now the colors are different, and I don't know which one's to press now.
Yeah, because see, I that's what I love about having the 8-bit Do controller, because I was like, oh, you can play with a keyboard, and I'm like, I will not.
Oh, this 8-bit, but see, my 8-bit Do is Switch is my Switch one. So yep.
Yeah, no,
That one stays on the Switch because I am not doing that bullshit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got the extra input one, and I was like, oh, and I seen the colors, and I was like, oh, I'm actually glad I did that.
I mean,
I'm actually glad I did that.
I do have this third-party Xbox One, but
you don't need that. You just get the.
yeah, it's fine. I'm all right.
Just get this one. There you go.
Well, what's that?
It's the 8-bit though. But it's
I mean,
the
but
X
like,
input.
but no, I mean, why would I get one when I just have a controller here? Is what I'm saying.
I'm saying so that way you can divest.
No, this isn't Xbox. It's third party.
Okay.
No, it's that's to say it's a third party Xbox controller. I could be using it, but
Yeah.
I would just rather just use the DualSense
Okay.
and just get over it. Like, it's not that bad. It's the color. It's the color thing that's throwing me off. I wonder if I switch it to Xbox controls just so I can see the color, would I actually do okay, knowing that the button prompts don't match.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, you good. You good. So yeah, I've been doing like the whole game. I've been doing like the whole little light gaming stuff, and starting to I'm getting that urge to get back into doing the whole Gunpla stuff again because Amazon for whatever reason had a really particularly good sale on Gunpla where I got a gun cannon and I bought another another Grandpappy, aka the RX 78 Mark II, which is basically the Gundam. It's not a Gundam, it is the Gundam. I think the Gundam. Hold on, let me show you the one I got. Take a count. So I got the two. So I basically they had the one, because this is the Gundam, the one that started it all. We call it in the community, we call it Grandpappy because it is basically the Gundam that started all Gundams. And then I have the GM, aka the Gym. So I wanted to do the gym. Basically, I just wanted to do the gym whenever. I wanted to stream myself doing this one. And then I just kind of wanted to just build this one on like a random weekend when I had time and energy to just like put it together. Not really film it. Just if I find myself in the Discord server with my homies, I just put it on and just put that together. But yeah, and I got that in the gun cannon and another GM. So and another Gundam. So that's what I've been doing is like building my model, going back to building my models again. Because again, I'm looking more to doing more offline hobbies because I encourage a lot of people to find hobbies that are offline and that do not require electricity to run. And that's what I say. So also like crossword, when I'm telling crossword puzzles, Sudoku, like pen and paper Sudoku, pen and paper crosswords, coloring, anything that doesn't require an internet connection or power to run, those are the things we do. And also, as we have known with the older Kindles being shut down or basically being bricked, I would definitely encourage people to start buying real books, to buying actual physical books. And if you can't buy physical books, try to get like third-party e-readers or more open or more third-party e-readers and get it through the EPUB form, as well as library card, because get a library card that opens you to so much more even on the digital space. So definitely do that. And I think that's about it. Yeah, not much going on with me.
Dope. Let's see. For me, yeah, we had successful May Day last Friday. Two events that I poorly planned for on top of some PT. I would say like not necessarily like the range of motion is back, but I know a lot of the pain is gone. Sitting there working on getting that stretch out, building strength up, making sure some of the elasticity gets back so I can at least start using my right arm again. to a better extent. Let's see. Like I mentioned earlier, my uncle unfortunately did pass away Saturday. We're in my mom's in the process trying to get all of the arrangements taken care of. They're naturally, when people pass away, there's always some complications. This is no different. But trying to help her get through a lot of that stuff it's what sons are for. But she does have a good support system. Folks are helping her out, especially with me being as far away as I am. But speaking of which, I was able to go out and see her. I was surprised her with a visit Sunday. Was able to see my sister I haven't seen in a while. So it's good kind of catching up with everybody. Let's see. This coming up week, not too much. Just, I guess, enjoying like the last week or so I've got left before on call hits again. The migrations are going on as well, not as we speak, kind of in a nice little lull period. So that way nothing gets crossed up and mixed up while I'm busy doing other things. However, I am announcing ahead of time because this is related. We had a conversation about this before we went live. Our yearly summer sabbatical is coming up next month. We will be taking off the month of June and, of course, the first show in July because that tends to be right around anniversary time for me and the missus. So I will be not around for that first week. I don't know. This July might be different because the 6th is on a Monday. But the 4th, which just happens to be a random day in July, the July 4th is on a Saturday. There might be some vacation taken that time, so I may or may not be around for that first, like that, because July 2nd is a Thursday, so I may not be around for the 2nd, but the Thursday following on the 9th we may be back. Stay tuned. We'll see how that goes. But yes, for June we'll be gone. In that time there will be some upgrades to a lot of sites, including techtalkthursdays.net. Shout out to, and let me get their username correct. Trying to find, oh, never mind, I forgot. They keep it somewhere else on Mastodon. Vivian at mastodon.art. If you're listening to the show, thank you so much. Again, you helped me fix a big issue, one that I was not that I was unaware of due to how certain podcatchers work, but was able to go and shout out to Viviverse or Vivian at mastodon.art for pointing out a problem with the podcatcher that she used or that they use. Was able to go and fix it. Things should be working. However, there is a fix that I had applied that's out of band of Castlepod. It may or may not work, so please bear with me as this new episode gets uploaded. It may or it may not work. I've got the app that they use to test to make sure that it works properly. So there may be some issues going forward, but we'll work on that, get that straightened out, and hopefully have a bigger fix come June. Obviously, with the news of Cloudflare, there's some more migrations happening, moving some domains, some DNS stuff off of Cloudflare, finding some other places to host. So there may be some other connectivity issues. There have been some other issues with some sites that I've been running due to some of the moves and some of the configuration changes I've been making behind the scenes. So please, if you if you are noticing any issues, please let me know so I can try to take care of it. But outside of that, That's all I got. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 7th, 2026. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I've got to do, so I'm going to try to get us out of here. And thank you again so much. I'm going to apologize on behalf of Twitch because they will not let me be great. And it's the one time I've looked at Twitch numbers. We were at 10, Twitch broke. I've not broken one since then. So Twitch is just fucking broken. Thank you, Twitch. Fuck you.
Concur.
Fuck you. I don't care about viewers that much, but motherfucker, this is consistently the highest view show that I do. It's the reason why it's the only show that I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes,
Honestly, how very dare.
I am seeing a post coming from Nick's Craft at Mastodon Social. AWS, Amazon, Elastic Compute Cloud, and North Virginia US East 1 down. Loss of power during the thermal event seems to be main reason.
Thermal event. Sounds like on fire.
So fuck you, Amazon. Fuck you, Twitch. Excuse me for not letting me be great. But of course, you can always find us. At least, if I can help it, consistently over at techtalkthursdays.net for the audio version at least. YouTube.com/Major Links or majors.house/TTTvid for the videos. If you would like to catch up. Normally here, twitch.tv/Major Linux. You want to catch us live 8 o'clock p.m. over on Thursdays. Again, thank you all so much for bearing with us through all these tech issues during all the mess. But I trust and believe I'm trying to make this a little bit easier for everybody to make the show a little bit more accessible. And this may be having me look at alternative streaming solutions in the near future again to make sure people have a place to go in the event this happens again. And yes, it will be probably open source and federated. Again, thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. Of course, on behalf of Sin, on behalf of Kev, on behalf of cross-country traveling gout, Idios and Anka, aka Idios and Patna.
Who made it to California today?
Hey. I've been your host, Marcus, Major Linux Summers, twitch.tv/Major Linux, youtube.com/Major Linux, techtalkthursdays.net. And of course, Sin live from AWS East 1, US East 1.
Let it fire, let it burn.
Honestly, we're just doing a little bit of detective work and trying to figure out what is actually happening over there.
And on that note, thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been playing, you could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no, thank you. We got fires to set. Allegedly.
Not to mention, I'm technically AI.
Damn. Think you know, brother. But all I've got left to say to you and the people is no one is going to save us but ourselves. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And as always, I love you. Peace.
Wakanda forever.